Have you ever felt a creeping, insidious fog cloud your thoughts, even on a day that should be perfectly clear and lucid? This is not the fog of a misty morning, but an internal haze, a cognitive molasses that slows your every mental process, making focus feel like a monumental effort and creative thought an impossible dream. Or perhaps you are intimately familiar with a different kind of physical discomfort, the persistent and biting chill in your hands and feet, a feeling of deep-seated cold that seems to emanate from your very bones, completely impervious to the ambient temperature of a well-heated room or the thickest pair of gloves. This sensation is often accompanied by a more general feeling of stagnant, heavy energy, the kind of profound lethargy that settles in after prolonged periods of stillness. Hours spent shackled to a desk, confined within the metallic shell of a car during a long commute, or sinking into the plush but ultimately draining embrace of a couch. If any of these descriptions resonate with a deep personal familiarity, then you stand on the precipice of a remarkable discovery, a revelation about a latent power concealed within your own physical form. A secret so potent, it holds the capacity to completely reconfigure your physical and mental state within the span of a single minute. The mechanism you are about to understand might, at first glance, appear almost laughably simple, its elegance belying its profound physiological impact. However, it is crucial that you do not allow this apparent simplicity to deceive you. The scientific principles underpinning this technique are incredibly deep and far-reaching, offering a direct, instantaneous method to reset your brain's processing power and reboot your entire circulatory system, all accomplished with no external tools, no expensive supplements, and no complex training, nothing more than the two hands you possess at this very moment. This is not merely another fleeting wellness tip to be added to a long list of forgotten self-care fads. It is a direct and compelling invitation to consciously unlock and engage a fundamental biological mechanism that the vast majority of humanity completely overlooks or dismisses as trivial. This very mechanism, hidden in plain sight, holds the ultimate key to feeling more mentally alert, physically warmer, and infused with a sense of vibrant, dynamic life that you may have thought was lost to the demands and pressures of modern existence. Let's embark on a deeper exploration of the intricate and fascinating biological ballet that unfolds within your body when you perform this deceptively simple act of intentional movement. I invite you now to participate in this exploration directly. Gently and deliberately, without any strain or excessive force, curl the fingers of both of your hands inward to form two comfortable, relaxed fists. Hold this contraction for a moment, and then, just as slowly and mindfully, open your hands wide, extending your fingers outward as if reaching to grasp something just beyond your fingertips. Now, continue this cycle, repeating the squeeze and the release in a steady, rhythmic, and unhurried motion. As you engage in this deliberate pulsation, I urge you to shift your awareness away from the outside world and turn it inward, paying meticulous attention to the subtle yet distinct sensations that begin to travel up the length of your arms. You might notice a gentle warmth, a faint tingling, or a subtle feeling of fluidic movement. These small, purposeful contractions are not merely idle fidgeting, they are activating a truly extraordinary and vital physiological process known colloquially as the venous pump, or more technically, the skeletal muscle pump. Your heart is an undisputed marvel of biological engineering, a relentless and powerful organ that expertly pumps freshly oxygenated, nutrient-rich blood outward from its chambers, through a vast and complex network of arteries, to nourish every single cell in every corner of your body. However, the circulatory system possesses an inherent design challenge. Your body does not have a dedicated secondary heart to perform the equally crucial task of pumping all of that blood, now depleted of oxygen and laden with metabolic waste products, back from the distant extremities, your hands and feet, against the constant pull of gravity. This vital, unglamorous, yet life-sustaining job falls to your skeletal muscles. Deep within the intricate anatomy of your hands and forearms lies a complex and densely woven network of muscles, tendons, and ligaments that, when consciously activated, function as a series of diminutive, yet surprisingly powerful auxiliary hearts. With every single rhythmic squeeze of your fists, you are mechanically compressing the veins embedded within and around this musculature. This compression propels the deoxygenated, sluggish blood, heavy with cellular waste like carbon dioxide and lactic acid, upward along your arms, past the valves in your veins that prevent backflow, past your elbows and shoulders, and back towards the central processing hub of your heart and lungs. There, this used blood can be purified, its carbon dioxide exchanged for life-giving oxygen, and sent out once more on its vital journey. The most immediate and palpable result of this action is a rapid and efficient flushing of stagnant, sluggish blood from your limbs and a simultaneous, powerful surge of fresh oxygen and essential nutrients delivered directly to where you need them most, including the billions of energy-hungry neurons that constitute your brain. This is the precise, scientifically validated reason why so many individuals who practice this simple exercise report feeling an almost instantaneous wave of mental clarity, heightened alertness, and renewed focus in a matter of mere seconds. Once you have become comfortable and familiar with the fundamental movement of rhythmically squeezing and releasing your hands, you can begin to explore ways to amplify its already significant benefits, elevating the effects to a whole new level of physiological efficacy. To truly supercharge this technique and maximize its circulatory impact, try the simple modification of raising your arms above the level of your heart while you continue to perform the steady, rhythmic pumping of your fists. By introducing this change in elevation, you are now strategically enlisting the powerful, ever-present force of gravity as an ally in your efforts. Instead of working against gravity to push blood upward from a dependent position, you are creating a downhill path, making it significantly easier for the venous blood to flow back towards your core with minimal resistance. This simple postural adjustment dramatically enhances the efficiency of your venous return. Furthermore, holding your arms aloft adds a gentle, sustained element of isometric resistance that forces the larger muscle groups in your upper arms, shoulders, and even your upper back, such as the deltoids, biceps, and triceps, to engage and work a little harder. This effectively transforms the exercise from a localized hand and forearm activity into a more comprehensive conditioning routine for your entire upper limb vascular system, training it to become more efficient, responsive, and resilient over time. If you desire an even greater degree of intensity and a more profound circulatory response, you can introduce a simple object from your immediate surroundings to add resistance to your grip. You do not need specialized equipment. A rolled-up pair of thick socks, a soft kitchen sponge, a stress ball, a tennis ball, or even a neatly folded washcloth will serve the purpose perfectly. Begin squeezing this object with focused intention, applying firm but controlled pressure. The added resistance from the object compels a greater number of individual muscle fibers within your hands and forearms to activate and contract, which in turn dramatically boosts local circulation and venous compression. This intensified squeezing creates a mild, temporary, and completely safe state of reduced blood flow to the tissues of the hand, a physiological state known as an ischemic response. When you then release your powerful grip, the true magic begins to happen. Your body, in its infinite wisdom, responds to this brief period of occlusion with a powerful, compensatory rush of blood back into the area. This phenomenon, known as reactive hyperemia, is a biological overcorrection designed to restore and enhance circulation. This is precisely why you will notice your hands turning a healthy shade of pink or even deep red and feeling wonderfully, radiantly warm in the aftermath. You are quite literally flooding the vast network of capillaries in your hands with a fresh, healing, and revitalizing supply of oxygen-rich blood, opening up microvessels and nourishing tissues at the deepest level. This wonderfully simple exercise, however, is about so much more than the mere mechanical process of moving blood through your veins. It stands as a powerful and profoundly effective tool for actively rewiring your brain's neural networks and bringing a deep sense of calm and regulation to your entire nervous system. As you continue with the rhythmic squeezing motion, you can introduce a new layer of complexity and neurological benefit by alternating which hand you squeeze and by periodically crossing your arms in front of your body, continuing the movement with your arms crossed. This seemingly minor addition of cross-lateral movement, actions that involve crossing the midline of the body, does something truly remarkable within the intricate architecture of your brain. It directly activates, stimulates, and strengthens the corpus callosum. This vital structure is a massive bridge of nerve fibers, a superhighway of neural communication that connects your brain's left and right hemispheres, allowing them to share information and work in a more integrated and harmonious fashion. Intentionally engaging both sides of your brain in this synchronized rhythmic way enhances cognitive coordination, promotes the growth of new neural pathways through a process known as neuroplasticity, and can even lead to measurable boosts in creative problem-solving abilities and more holistic thinking. With this simple addition, you are no longer just pumping blood. You are actively building a more resilient, better connected, and more functionally integrated brain. To create the ultimate synergy of mind-body wellness and elevate this practice to its highest potential, consciously combine this dynamic hand exercise with slow, deep diaphragmatic breathing performed exclusively through your nose. This specific style of breathing, where the abdomen expands on the inhale and gently contracts on the exhale, is a direct and powerful signal to your parasympathetic nervous system, the branch of your autonomic nervous system responsible for the body's rest and digest functions. Activating the parasympathetic nervous system through deep nasal breathing has been scientifically shown to actively lower the circulating levels of the primary stress hormone, cortisol, while simultaneously enriching your blood with a higher concentration of oxygen. This powerful combination of rhythmic hand movement, cross-lateral brain activation, and deep diaphragmatic breathing constitutes a true triple win for your overall health, a single integrated practice that simultaneously benefits the complex functions of your brain, the tireless work of your heart, and the vigilant surveillance of your immune system. If you frequently find yourself locked in a battle with the pervasive forces of stress, the paralyzing grip of anxiety, or the incessant racing thoughts that so often pave the way for insomnia and sleepless nights, these deliberate and mindful hand contractions can serve as an exceptionally powerful and immediately accessible grounding technique. When your mind feels as though it is caught in a chaotic, self-perpetuating spiral of worry and catastrophizing, the simple, repetitive, and tangible physical sensation of squeezing and releasing your hands can act as a steadfast physical anchor in a turbulent sea of mental and emotional chaos. This practice effectively pulls your focus away from the abstract, often hypothetical realm of your worries and returns your awareness firmly to the present moment, to the concrete and undeniable feeling occurring within your own body. There is a very sound and scientific reason why elite athletes, high-stakes performers, and public speakers often instinctively grip something tightly or squeeze their hands into fists just before a critical performance. They are intuitively using their grip strength as a direct and reliable line to consciously regulate their autonomic nervous system. This action is not merely about a display of physical strength or a nervous tick, but about creating a profound and immediate connection between mind and body in order to gain a tangible sense of control over a high-pressure, physiologically arousing situation. You should not underestimate the profound power of this connection. Every single time you purposefully squeeze your fist, you are engaging a vast and complex network of sensory receptors. This includes mechanoreceptors in your skin that detect pressure, proprioceptors embedded in your joints that communicate information about position and movement, and stretch receptors within your tendons that signal the degree of muscular tension. All of these receptors send a simultaneous, cascading volley of sensory information along intricate neural pathways, traveling up your spinal cord and feeding directly into the sensory and motor cortices of your brain. This flood of concrete physical data effectively commands the brain's attention, helping to interrupt and override the more abstract and often distressing signals generated by the brain's fear and anxiety centers, like the amygdala. In essence, you are creating and actively reinforcing a potent neurovascular loop, a closed, self-sustaining circuit of healing and regulation, using nothing more than the incredible innate technology you were born with. Perhaps the most profoundly beautiful and empowering aspect of this entire practice lies in its sheer, unadulterated accessibility. You have the ability to perform this exercise absolutely anywhere, at any conceivable time, without drawing attention to yourself or requiring any special conditions. You can do it discreetly and effectively during a long and tedious business meeting, helping to maintain focus and ward off mental fatigue. You can practice it while relaxing on the couch watching television, transforming passive entertainment time into a moment of active physiological rejuvenation. It can be done effortlessly while talking on the phone, while waiting in a long line at the grocery store, or perhaps most beneficially, while confined to a cramped seat on an airplane or a train, where it can help to prevent blood from pooling in your extremities and to reduce the risk of deep vein thrombosis. You do not need any expensive high-tech equipment, no fancy wearable gadgets, no complicated applications, and certainly no costly gym membership. Your own body, in its inherent wisdom and design, is the only tool you will ever truly need. So, the next time you feel that familiar and unwelcome sense of brain fog beginning to creep in, or when you feel a wave of physical or mental fatigue wash over you, when your hands turn cold, or when you simply feel inexplicably off, I implore you to remember this simple yet powerful truth. You hold the innate and immediate power to reboot your circulation, to re-energize your brain's intricate networks, and to reset your entire physiological system, and this power resides, quite literally, in the palm of your hand. Squeeze with purpose, squeeze with intention, squeeze with the conscious understanding that this is not just a nervous fidget or a mindless, repetitive movement. It is a form of medicine. It is a potent and direct form of self-regulation and self-healing. Integrate this simple practice into the fabric of your daily life, turning to it whenever you feel the need for a reset, a moment of calm, or a boost of clarity. And I can promise you with utmost confidence that your mind, your body, and your entire being will thank you for it.